Don't you really wish you knew all the answers to the big questions? Or even some of the little ones? Don't you wish you could be certain? I mean, like absolutely sure, crystal clear and 100% confident. I've certainly prayed for certainty before, especially around faith and God and heaven and hell and good and evil and right and wrong, politics, parenting, and knowing my life's purpose, figuring out how to dig out of a dark hole. I've certainly prayed for certainty before, but the older I get, the more I learn, the more I experience, the more I dive into sacred books and religious traditions, the more and more I am absolutely convinced that certainty is a trick. Being sure is a ruse. And the more we welcome uncertainty into our lives, the more curious and humble we are, the closer to God we can be. I really believe that God is found in the questions, in the wonder, in the mystery. God is found in the interaction, in the interchange, and in the discourse. I bet you got something in your life that at one point you were absolutely certain about it. And then one day, all of a sudden, you saw the world through different eyes. And that certainty you had was flipped on its head. Okay, this is a really dumb example, but I remember being in like the 4th grade. We were studying a unit on geography and how to read maps and stuff like that. And I remember going to the front of the room to one of those giant, you remember those pull down maps that would come down? Like we had a pull down map, like the whole Western hemisphere. The teacher had pulled it down and it was covering the whole chalkboard. I was going up to that map and I was pointing to places I wanted to visit someday. I remember being really confident, really excited. I let the whole class know that I wanted to visit Cuba someday. I pointed to it on the map with certainty. I thought it was a really interesting choice because everyone else had chosen Disneyland and Hawaii and New York and stuff like that. The thing is, I wasn't pointing to Cuba. I was pointing to Quebec in Canada. And people laughed. But I didn't get embarrassed. Nope, I doubled down. I quickly and loudly explained that I was, in fact, pointing to Cuba. I calmly and confidently shared with my obviously dense classmates that they speak a different language in Cuba. And as you all can clearly see, this location on the map starts with a Q. Q. Cuba. I smugly looked at their befuddled faces, and to my dismay, the class erupted in laughter again. Finally, the teacher put me out of my misery, but that memory, full of overconfidence and hubris and way too much certainty, has stuck with me to this day. Do you have a Cuba, Quebec moment in your memory bank? Have you ever been welcomed into the fraternity of humility and uncertainty against your will? I have become an evangelist for uncertainty. If there is one thing I'm certain of, it's that uncertainty is the path to true growth. This might be why the gospel story of Thomas is one of my favorites. So all the disciples are overcome with excitement because Jesus is said to have risen from the grave after his crucifixion. But Thomas isn't excited. He doubts. He doesn't buy it. He says, I'm going to have to touch my friend Jesus to truly believe. Then after Jesus shows up in the story and Thomas touches him, Jesus doesn't shame him. He doesn't berate him for his uncertainty. He reassures his friend. That story has always given me permission to doubt, permission to wonder, permission to look for deeper meanings, permission to explore and dive deep into the mystery. I love that passage. If one of Jesus's closest followers is okay with doubt and uncertainty, then I can be too. I love seeing the messiness of faith and religion. I love the lack of certainty that is layered in the centuries of humans trying to make sense of the big questions of life. I love how the deeper you dig, the messier most old religious stuff actually gets. The exploring is messy, but I love the exploring. Welcome to Between, by the way, the most open church on earth. We hope you will share this message with everyone you encounter. At Between, we've got some basic community agreements that guide how we interact with each other. One of those is that we all agree to the principle of uncertainty. And we really love being curious. What if we all chose to relish uncertainty? What if I'm not sure, but I'm trying to learn became our mantra? What if all you've been told about what's certain couldn't possibly be if many other people are certain about their almost certainly different point of view? Let's have faith in uncertainty. Let's cherish it and worship it. Let's love the questions and the exploration and the journey of growing together. Will you join me in the spirit of prayer? God, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, today I pray that you plant questions in my heart, that I will ask and wonder and revel in the uncertainty. God, help me chase wisdom through deep curiosity. Help me seek ultimate truths through continually engaging with my fellow humans in our shared pursuit of all that is good. Today I pray for comfort in the uncertainty. Amen. My favorite church is the space between people. Now go with God's love and create the church between.